Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan.
I am Tabitha wearing a beautiful orange dress.
Yes, this is Tabitha wearing a beautiful orange dress. I am Ryan, and we're here to bring you this week's episode of Locked in Science. So,
And we're making magic milk. That is very, I never made it, and I'm really excited to see this, and especially like tickling my dad.
So today we're going to be using another common household ingredient. We're going to be using dish soap.
Yay, dish soap. I love playing with it.
I recommend, if you have multiple kinds of dish soap or whatever, that you try Dawn. Dawn is a really good dish soap, and that's because its ability to interact with fats is a better quality than some of the generics and some of the other qualities. So not to be product placey, but I do recommend that you try to use Dawn for these experiments. You'll get a slightly better result. So we're going to do 2 experiments today. If you want to participate, you're going to need glue. You can use white Elmer's glue or clear Elmer's glue or glow-in-the-dark Elmer's glue, whatever you want. You'll need 2 tablespoons of that. Let's not tickle right now. You will need milk, whole milk, because we need the fat. So this experiment actually will not work if you use lower concentrations of milk. And you'll need some dish soap, and if you can, some Q-tips and some food coloring to produce the best results.
Yay, food coloring.
Yay, food coloring. Okay, so first in Facebook, I'm going to tilt you down a little bit. First, I want you to take a low dish, and we're going to do magic milk first, by request. So I want you to take a low dish that has some rims on the sides, because we're going to fill it with some milk, like you're laying out like a saucer for a cat or something, although please don't let your cats eat this milk, because we're going to fill it with soap. Yeah, Moosey's over there.
But it's closed.
Yeah, Moosey will be fine. For an example of someone you should not let near this milk, this is Moose.
Our cat.
Yeah, this is one of our cats.
Yeah, the second one is Penny, who can go anywhere. Moosey can only be downstairs because when she gets really wet, she gets nervous and then she pees.
Yeah. She's an anxious cat. Okay, so when you've got your milk in here, then you're going to take some food coloring, and you're going to just add some dabs wherever. So you're going to make some cool art in here. I know, but Tabs, we just need to do just a tiny bit, okay? So just a little bit. Now, we have the gel kind of food coloring, which doesn't work quite as well as the droppy kind of food coloring. And so if you have the droppy kind of food coloring, you'll find it a little bit better. But you want to just give it a couple little drops here and there. You can make a design in there, but if you're using the gel food coloring, you really want to try to use just a little of it, because we need it to move around, and it's a little heavier than the droppy kind. Now, the other thing you can do, if you're feeling, and Tabs, I'll let you do this. So just put in tiny little drops. The other thing you can do if you don't have food coloring, or if you have the gel kind of food coloring and you're not sure if it's going to work, so just tiny little drops, okay? Is pepper. If you have pepper, this works in here too. And what you can do is just sprinkle it on the top. Okay. Now, all right, we got some good food coloring in there. And what you'll do now is to take your Q-tips.
Can I use the Q-tips?
And dab it in the dish soap. Okay. Dab it in the dish soap. Yeah. And then see if you guys can. Whoa. You see that? Now don't move it around. Look, because if we just tap it, it's going to start swirling around without us needing to do anything. I'm going to take cameras, and I'm running 2 simultaneous streams, okay? So I'm going to take the first camera here, and you can see what it did is it pushed all our pepper to one side. And it starts, Tabs, if you don't move it, just drop it like that. Maybe take a little bit more dish soap. On Facebook here, I'm going to take you in, and you'll see it pushed all our pepper over to one side. So if you put different kinds of colors in here, you'll notice that the dish soap is going to interact with, yeah, you're getting some really cool swirls in here. There you go. So, what happens is the milk has fat in it, right? So it has minerals, it has milk, it has enzymes, it has fat, all that sort of stuff that's in it. And oh, thank you so much. We will let her host some live weekly programs when we come back. What happens is that the dish soap is made to bond with fats and to sort of wash them off. So the dish soap reacts to those fats and it breaks the surface tension of the milk. And what it does is anything that's in there, like the colors or the pepper, it sends it swirling and spraying and all of that stuff around. You're turning yourself all blue? That's cool. She does this every week. She comes out blue by the end of this. We're getting bath tonight, right?
Yeah, we're getting a bath. So my sister is taking bath right now. I like helping her, and she's really cute.
Yeah, she is one. Okay, so yeah, and like I said, you know, if you get this gel kind, you can actually break up the gel a little bit if you want to see this.
Let me try.
And then when you put this in here, you'll get here. Tabs, watch if I just do this. See, it's going to send those reacting. This is very cool. And do try it, even if you're trying it with the here. Can you put that back in? And we're gonna pour this out. Now okay. Let's try not to get that much on the counter. I do recommend that even if you've done this with the food coloring, try it with the pepper because it's really drastic with the pepper and it's very cool. All right. That was the magic milk that we just made. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be making some fun window clings. And you can actually make this right with dish soap and glue. And these are just going to look, when you're done, they're going to be really similar to the ones you buy in the store, like things for Christmas and for Halloween
and for Easter. Which is really cute.
We sometimes get them for Passover. There are all sorts of.
Passover ones are really weird.
Yes, they are.
And Hanukkah ones.
And Hanukkah ones, all kinds of ones. So I know that lots of people are putting rainbows on their windows right now. We have one out there. And this is a way to make some at home. So the first thing you're going to want to do is roll out some wax paper. I'm going to set that aside. And then, Tabby, can you hand me the bowl right there? Okay. And now you can use any kind of glue. We're going to use clear glue because I want to see how it works. We made our last batch with a thicker opaque glue. So you can pour that right in here. And we're using 2 tablespoons of clear glue. We're going to see how this clear glue works because last time we've used a sort of more solid glue. And I'll show you. Great. Thank you, Tabs. And now all you're going to do after you pour those 2 tablespoons in is do 2 sort of drops of Tabby's favorite dish soap. One drop and 2 drops. Okay. And then you're going to mix that up. You're really going to want to mix it together. It's really, really mixed. And now, Tabby, you have to decide what kind of color you want. What color do you want this to be?
Orange.
Orange? Okay. So we're going to put in some food coloring right now too. If you're using a colored glue, I'll show you what we made last time. Because we used a dark blue glitter glow in the dark kind, which looked really cool.
But it dried out.
Well, it did because we took it off the window. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, while we're doing this, I'd like you to get either a paintbrush or some cookie cutters. Okay? So paintbrush or some cookie cutters. We've got our cookie cutters over here. When you pour this onto your wax paper, which is what we're going to do now, if you try to shape it with just a paintbrush, yes, it matches your dress. If you try to do it just paint it on there, you can do a kind of layer. If you do a really simple design, if you're going to do it with like a paintbrush, with like a rainbow or a circle or something like that, because it is going to spread out, given that it's not. Yeah, we'll do the triangle first, given that it's kind of still pretty liquidy. So I would recommend that if you're using a cookie cutter, that you sort of leave it there. Leave the cookie cutter on there until it started to dry. So let's put the cookie cutter on the sheet. We've got a triangle. Let's do a heart. And should we try? Let's try Big Bird. We've got Big Bird over here. We 3D printed these at the library, by the way. These cookie cutters, which you can do too when the library reopens. And so we'll take these up with a spoon, and then you'll fill the cookie cutter with that. Now, when we did ours, we made a couple of them too thin. You want to get a sort of nice balance between two.
Big Bird used to be one.
Yeah. You want to, give it sort of a few centimeters. Those little green bits? I think that's old Play-Doh that came off the cookie cutters, which we normally use for Play-Doh. So don't skimp out on making it too thin because ours dried out. But if you make it thicker, it's going to take a little while longer to dry. And you fill the cookie cutters with these. So you'll give it a few hours. I think it took ours. We made it fairly thick, and it took about maybe 3-4 hours to fully dry. You can sort of tap it to test it. If you're painting this and you're not confining it to a cookie cutter and it is thinner, it's going to dry more quickly. You want to get it when it sort of feels jelly, when it sort of feels like a window gel, but isn't coming off on your finger. Because if you let it get too dry, it's no longer going to stick to your window. Now, these are not going to be reusable window gels. So this is the last one we made. Tabby made a bunch of Halloween ones. This is our ghost. This is glow-in-the-dark glitter glue kind over here. And this stuck to our window. Okay. Okay. And we had that on the window for a few days because one side got fairly dry, one side got kind of sticky. And then when you put that up to the window, it's going to stay on there for a while. But if you take it off, it will dry out if you leave it off for a while. Just to let you know, these are not going to be permanently jelly like some of the store-bought ones are. But that's it. You fill these cookie cutters with them, and you let them be for a while, and they come up with a nice... So take the next few hours and test them. Kids, your mom and dad might go to bed before it's time to take those out. So moms and dads, you may want to check it a little bit after they go to sleep. But that's how... Tabs, can you come back here and say goodbye? That's how you make window gels, and that's how you make magic milk. Of course, there's always... We're not going to do it right now. But there's always... You can add this to some water. And if you have glycerin... which I know is not a common household item, but if you have any glycerin, pop a little bit of glycerin in there, and you have amazing bubble mixture. So thank you so much for joining us this week on Locked In Science. We will see you next week. And as always, send us a message, show us what you made. And if you have any ideas for future programs or anything you'd like us to try or do, or if you have comments on Tabby's dancing, feel free to let us know. So thanks a lot. Hope you're safe. Stay well. Wash your hands. Say hi to a person who might be lonely. And we will see you next week. Bye.